After convincing wins in Iowa and New Hampshire, the rumor mill is now in overdrive about who former President Donald Trump will pick as his potential running mate. Possible VP frontrunners here include current lawmakers as well as some of his opponents in the 2024 Republican primaries. Here to break it all down for us is Mychael Schnell, congressional reporter at The Hill. Mychael, welcome back. Okay, there are a few names we're hearing that are floated around as top contenders. Tell me who they are.
Hey, Hannah, good morning. As you mentioned, it's one of Washington's favorite games. The veep stakes speculation comes around every 4 years. Right now, as you mentioned, it is in overdrive after former President Trump easily locked down support in Iowa and New Hampshire. So there are a number of names being floated around. You have people like the loyalists, and then you have folks who were previously opposed to the former president but now are on his side. When you talk about the loyalists, Elise Stefanik, House GOP conference chair. There's somebody like South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem, people like Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, folks who have been in his orbit and are fierce supporters of him. And then, of course, those people who previously ran against him but then careened back into his corner. I'm talking about people like Tim Scott, Vivek Ramaswamy, who also ran for president for the GOP nomination, dropped out, and then quickly endorsed the former president. So a lot of names being floated, the former president not showing his cards, but he did say that folks won't be too surprised by his choice, if you can read the tea leaves there at all.
I'm so glad you mentioned Stefanik, because we know she campaigned for Trump in New Hampshire. She appears to be one of his fiercest defenders for a while now. Do you think her loyalty is going to pay off here?
That's the big question here, right? And she was always seen as, she always has been one of the president's fiercest defenders on Capitol Hill, really since her transformation from more of a moderate figure to more of a MAGA figure around 2019. But she's sort of ticked up the support of the former president in recent months, as you mentioned, doing that swing through New Hampshire with Trump, campaigning for him. She's also called on the other GOP nominees, specifically now Nikki Haley, to drop out of the race. And she's defended him at every single turn of the legal challenges that Trump has faced. Now, Stefanik herself keeping the door open, just simply saying she would be honored to serve in the Trump administration in any capacity.
Mychael, what would an Elise Stefanik Trump ticket look like? What would it offer?
Yeah, so there are a few things that she would bring to the table, right? First off, her age. A lot of folks have criticized the former president for running because of his age, 77 years old. Stefanik would be a counter to that. She's currently 39 years old, so she would bring a younger face to the Republican ticket. There's also the fact that she could potentially bring in more suburban voters and more women voters that Trump lost some of in 2020, so she could help make up for that loss in 2024. And then the thing that might be most important to the former president, Henna, her loyalty. Her fierce loyalty to the former president, as I mentioned, defending him at every turn through every roadblock he has faced this year and in previous years, and also her ability to defend him in the media and spar with the media on the former president's behalf. That loyalty is something that we all know that Trump really values. So that is something that Elise Stefanik would definitely bring to the ticket and is likely one reason why she's being floated as a potential contender.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.